This conference will now be recorded.
So good morning team in this Azure Data Engineer Master Program. So in today's session, we will be talking about copy behaviors with the copy activity. Okay, so mastering the copy behaviors with the copy activity, we will see scenarios, copy behaviors, file path types, data flow diagram, estimations, prerequisite, required resources, and a demo. So scenarios we will see. We will understand reading the files from root folder and subfolders and copying those files with the same structure as a source. Okay, so I'll also show you some pictures so that you'll get better clarity. So if you see here, this is the root folder. Cloud Pandit input is the root folder, main folder. You can say container. Under that you have custom.csv, and inside that you have a something called subfolder 1. So under subfolder 1 again you have emp.csv. So how I want to copy into the target is I want to copy as it is, same structure as it is, I want to copy into the Cloud Pandit output. So if you are keeping the structure as it is, same as a source, that is nothing but preserved hierarchy. You are preserving, okay, you are preserving the same structure. You see, this is a main folder. So under that, this one file, one folder is there. Under this folder, again this file is there. So now what I'm doing, this structure same as it is, I am copying from Cloud Pandit input to Cloud Pandit output container. I am copying the same structure. Next, read files from the root folder and subfolder, copy files to a root folder. So if you have a same structure, but if I am bringing it like this, data underscore abc dot csv, data underscore xyz dot csv. Yesterday you have seen the file names. When we have used a flatten hierarchy, the file names it will rename. Why it is renaming? The reason is, let's say this is a custom.csv. In this subfolder also you have a custom.csv. Now the requirement is it has to keep this custom.csv, this custom.csv in the single folder. So when it is keeping under a single folder, there is a conflict if same file name comes. That's why to avoid that kind of issues, custom.csv it will rename to like this, and emp.csv also it will rename it to something, data underscore some unique id it will assign. Everybody understood? This is called a flattened hierarchy. Are we good? Clear team?
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yeah.
let's say read files from root folder and subfolder and merge two files data. So for example, you have custom.csv and emp.csv, which has actually same data, same structure. Now I am just merging the two files data and saving into a single file in the target. So for that you need to use a merge, preserved hierarchy, flatten hierarchy, and then merge. So there are three types of copy behaviors we will have. So these are the three. Clear all of you? Now, so read files from root folder, copy files with the same structure as a source. So for example, if you see, I have a Cloud Pandit input. There are two files. There is a subfolder and one file is there. So same structure as a source means. So how it is copied, team? How it is copied? What it is doing? Can you see and tell me what it is doing?
Only root folder level files only copying, not
Okay,
with the subfolder.
because there is a something called recursive. If you disable that recursive equal to true, if you uncheck that, it take only the root folder. It will not go into the subfolders. Clear? What is that option name? What
Recursive.
is recursive. Okay, remember that. Next, read files from root folder, copy files to sync. So you are reading the this and copying files to the sync. If you use the flatten hierarchy, the files will be renamed automatically. So merging also can be done, but only it will consider the first two files, root files. If you say recursive equal to false, this is how it takes only the root folder. If you say recursive equal to true, it will take the subfolder as well, whatever you have seen in the previous slide. Clear? Next. So copy behaviors, if you see now, let's say if I use a recursive equal to true and copy behavior is preserved hierarchy, now I have like this: folder 1, file 1, file 2, subfolder 1, file 3, file 4, file 5. Now what happens when you copy them? As you said recursive equal to true, same structure will be copied into the target, including subfolders, because recursive equal to true. As the copy behavior is preserved hierarchy, same structure will be copied into target. Clear? Next, recursive equal to true, flatten hierarchy. So folder 1, file 1, file 2, subfolder 1, file 3, file 4. So now what happens? The target folder 1 is created with the following structure. So folder 1, auto-generated name for file 1, file 2, file 3, and file 4 is going to come. Understood? Automatically generated file names will come, but all these files will be there under a folder 1. Merge files. So recursive equal to true means file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4 contents are merged into a one file with auto generated file name. Till here, can you look at all these three and let me know, Tim, if you have any doubt? Clear, Tim? Okay, let's move on. Here, what you are seeing, Tim? Recursive equal to false. When the recursive equal to false and copy behavior is preserved hierarchy, it is considering only the main folder. Here also you see it is considering only main folder. Here also it is considering the main folder, file 1 plus file 2 is combined. Clear? Now, so defines the copy behavior when the source is file from a file based data stores. Remember, whenever you want to use a copy behaviors, all the capabilities of the copy behavior, if you want to use, your source must be a file based data store, meaning like it should be S3 storage or blob data lake, that kind of a storage should be there at the source. Allowed values are preserved hierarchy, which is a default. Default behavior is preserved hierarchy, same as the structure will be copied into the target if you're not changing anything. If you want to flatten hierarchy, you can change it. Merge files, if you want, you can able to change it. Clear, team? All of you clear, team?
Yeah.
So what is the default
So,
behavior?
Preserved hierarchy,
uh,
that is what I'm saying, right? Your default.
Okay.
so Malay here flatten means we can say like it's append preserve means override.
No. That is when the source is database, what happens? That picture why overwrite and append came into the picture is
Mm.
When you are copying data from databases to the storage accounts,
Mm.
preserved hierarchy means file name it will not change. If the file
Mm.
name is not changed means what happens when you are copying data from cust table? So file name preserved hierarchy will not change. So always when you copy, it is going to write it into the same file. As it is going to write it into the same file, data is overwriting. But when you say flatten hierarchy, it is going to change the file name. It generates a file every time. That's why it is creating a new file and a new file is getting added into the folder. That's why it is making the behavior as a append.
Yeah.
But you can't able to use preserved hierarchy or flatten hierarchy for append or override. That is, you need to understand the situation. So there, why preserved hierarchy is overwriting is it is keeping the file name same.
Same.
As
Yeah.
the target file name is same, it is overwriting.
Yeah.
Flatten hierarchy, it is adding a different file names. So that's why it is keep on adding the data.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, okay.
So based on the requirement, we need to choose is it preserved
Yes,
hierarchy or flattened hierarchy. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Got
But generally, this preserved hierarchy, flatten hierarchy merge files we will be using. So when we are handling the source is a file based data store.
it. Okay.
As we have seen, right, when you have a files in a different folders and all, to bring them into proper structure, we can use
Yeah.
these copy behaviors to arrange our files.
Yeah.
Clear? Any other questions, Tim? Okay, let's move on. What happens when we merge two different schema files? Remember, it will consider old file schema out of root and the subfolder. See, for example, you have you are merging. You have a cust file and cust one file. So when you are merging cust and cust one file, cust file is the first file, and cust one is the file which came latest. So this is the old file. This old file is having CID CNAME, but this is having CID CNAME C location. But remember, when you merge it, it will consider only CID CNAME because it is going to consider the old file schema. Clear? That we can see again today. Clear? So file path type, to copy all files under a folder, specify folder path only. You know, right? Wildcard file path we will mention to copy all files from a folder. To copy a single file, you need to give the folder path and file name. To copy a subset of files under a folder, subset means specific files. .csv or .parquet, you can use wildcard filter. For filter, allowed wildcards are star and a question mark. Here example, file name. Star.csv means all the files um, which has a uh, .csv extension, all such type of files we can able to take. Okay. So question mark means at question mark you can have any character. Okay, maybe you can have ust.txt file. If you have, you can take it. If you have cust.txt, you can take it. If you have zust.txt, meaning question mark place, if you don't have anything, no problem, still you can take ust.txt file. If you have something like cust.cs, instead of question mark c is replaced, still we can match it like that. Maybe any character if we have within the question mark, we can consider such type of files. Clear, team? Any questions, team? Any questions? Okay, I no need to explain CSV file, you know, right? It can be comma separated or it can be pipe separated. You can have any type of CSV files will be there, team. JSON files. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation Team. So JSON file will look like this. It will be kind of a key value, key value, key value. Meaning, generally, if it is a CSV, you will have a header. All the values will be there. But in JSON, every time column name value, column name value, column name value. This is a one customer record. Again, column value, column value, column value. Like that, you will have. Clear tip. This is the JSON data. So let's say if I'm copying data from blob storage, I have input folder with some file. I have target output folder in blob. How many linked services we need? One linked service, one dataset copy activity, output dataset, and linked service, and we can copy. So who is going to copy actuality? Integration runtime. But who is managing this? Azure Synapse is managing here because we are discussing about Azure Synapse now. Okay. Estimations. We need a two linked services because I am copying data from blob to blob. Two data sets, two linked services. One copy activity is enough. One pipeline. Azure integration runtime. We need to use it. You know already storage account, Azure Synapse, IaaS, all these things too. Prerequisite. Required resources are storage account and the Azure Synapse. Let's go and create a storage account and the Azure Synapse. Close other tabs. So now what we need to do, we need to go and create a Azure Synapse which takes more time. Then we will create a storage account. First let's go to Azure Synapse Analytics. Click on create Azure Synapse Analytics. Cloud Pandit iPhone Dev iPhone RG. Click OK. Cloud Pandit iPhone Dev iPhone. Synapse Workspace. E-Studios I'm taking. Data lake name is Cloud Pandit Dev ADLS. This is a Synapse Cloud. Okay, clear team. So just click review plus create. Now remove this password. Click review plus create. Click create. Now let's create a two blob storages. One is source blob, second one is sync blob. Go to storage accounts. Click on create storage account. Create it. Come to second tab. Let's create a one more blob storage. Cloud Pandit. Click on create Cloud Pandit Dev target blob. You can give the name Cloud Pandit Dev target blob. That is a source blob. This is a target blob. Click review plus create. Create it. Okay, Synapse, source blob, sync blob. So let's go to the source blob, go to resource, container, click on container. So let's say this is a global. Okay. Okay. So under this, first let me upload few files. Okay, go inside. So now what I'll do, I'll take this employee file, I'll duplicate it multiple times. Okay. So make it as a EMP employee underscore data employee info, something like this, but same data. So it is like this, right? Now employees and EMP I am uploading first. So these are directly uploaded, but next to two files, if you see, so these two files I am uploading under. Okay. Mm, okay, active EMP, active employees. So now what happened? These two are the files that you have directly under main folder. So active EMP folder, subfolder you have, under subfolder you have this file. Now if I use a preserved hierarchy with a recurse equal to true, what will happen to when we copy this data into the target? What will happen?
All files will copy with same hierarchy.
Yeah, that's correct. All the files will be copied into the target with the same structure. Okay, fine. Now target is also created, Synapse is also ready. Let's open Synapse workspace. Close this. Okay. Now, how many linked services we need to create? Team? Two linked services. Let's go and create them. Test connection. Create it. Click on new. Blob. LS for blob. Just sync. Target blob. Test connection. Create it. Okay, so this is a source blob, this is a sync blob. Now come to data. So it's same folder, we are not going to change. So that's why let's create a data sets. But data sets are very straightforward. We are not going to create any parameters and all. Azure CSV, DS for ADLS, sorry, DS for blob, source, linked services, this, browse it, select a global, click OK, click OK. Okay, now click on integration dataset once again for blob, CSV, DS for blob, just see this sync. You don't have anything in the sync, so I am giving it as staging. Okay, staging container I am giving in the sync. As you don't have this container, you can't import schema. Select none, click OK. Now get it. Now you can see I created a source dataset which points to global, sync dataset which points to the staging. Now we need to go to integrate, create a pipeline. Now let's start with the copy data activity. Source. You can use source dataset. Sync is, this is the sync dataset. Now source side, if you say recursively, is it automatically checked or not checked, Tim? Is it checked or not
Checked.
checked?
Checked.
Checked. Come to sync. What is the default copy behavior if you are not choosing anything out of this?
Zero hierarchy.
Freeze.
Without hierarchy. So now if I run it, if I run a pipeline, what should happen? Tell me. What will happen if I run a pipeline now?
It will copy all the files with the same structure.
With the same file names.
Very good. Very good. That's correct. Okay. Let's debug. What it is saying as the source is pointed to the folder, so you need to use the wildcard file path. Click debug. It is completed. You can first see how many files copied. 4 files it copied into the target. But let's see what is the structure in the blob. See, this is a, you can see first of all, this is a target blob. At 6:48, these files came here and go inside active EMP. You can see these 2 files here. Clear, Tim? Are we good? Is it working as expected, the default behavior?
Yes.
Now I'm deleting this just to show you because you will confuse if the old files are there in this folder. So that's why I completely deleted. So what is the second copy behavior? Now if you want a flatten hierarchy, you need to choose it because by default it will not go into the flatten. Default copy behavior is preserved. So if you want flatten hierarchy, you need to choose it. So I have chosen flatten hierarchy. When we debug, what will happen to him now? So you can see source side recursive equal to true and sync side it is a flatten hierarchy I have chosen. Now if you debug, let's see. Now come to target, refresh it, staging. Are you seeing the 4 files here? Same size. The reason is because we kept the same files in the source, that's why same size files you can see. If you open it, so you can able to see the data. But now I don't know what file of data it is belongs to, so that's why now I want to do something. What I want to do, go to copy data. Here I'll add a file name. How to add a file name? $$ Now what happens? In the target side files, it get a one more column called file name column. Under that it will put the what is the source file name. Clear?
Yes.
Is it changed now? Yes. You can say 4 files read, 4 files only written. Now only thing is you can come to know now what is that file. Shit. You can see this is a employees.csv. What about the second file? It is a emp.csv. What is this file? This is a employee info.csv. What is this file team? This is a employee underscore data.csv. That's how even though file names are renamed, you can able to add a new column called file name column. You can pass it so that it is easy for us to understand these records came from which source file. Are we good? Are we good till here?
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
as you know everything, so what I wanted to do, I want to keep this as a merge files. See, source side recursive is there, sync side merge files I am doing. Now debug this. Okay. Now let's see. Source side, if you see files read is 4, files written is only 1 in the target set. If you go here, see all these files came at 651. But now this file came at 653. The size of this file, if you see, so 5.6, 5.31, 5.56, 5.56, all these things, if you combine, this is what you will get it. Because inside this merged file, what you will have to see, you have emp data, employee data, next employee emp data, employees data, emp.csv, employee info is not available. Where it is? See here, employee info.csv records also here. So all the 4 files data is combined here. Okay, are we good? Are you all good with the records equal to true with the 3 behaviors?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's see, if I remove the records equal to true, what will happen? First, let's go with the default. Okay, I'm not choosing anything. I'm just going with the default. Copy actually did not get the required resources to start the run. See, now it is started the run. So if you see, two files read, two files only written into the target. Why? Because those two are the files which are basically,
The root folder.
those are basically yeah, root folders files, emp and employee.txt. If you see, emp and employees. Okay, so these two. But why extension is coming as a .txt? Can you tell me how to handle that?
Uncheck dot cs.
File extension, here you need to say .csv. Okay, now debug this. We already discussed that is very simple option. If people are not answering, that's why I am running again. Okay, now if you see files read is to files written is to, if you come to sync, you can see here. Okay, so it's a CSV file. You can preview even your data. Now my question to all of you is, what is the separator? What is the delimiter that we have in this CSV file?
Comma.
Comma. Can we change that delimiter, Tim? Do you think we can change the delimiter or not? Yes. Come to copy activity sync, right? In the sync dataset, open the sync dataset. Come down. You see column delimiter. It is by default comma. But if you want pipe, it's a pipe. You can change it to the pipe. Okay. You can see, right? Pipe symbol is added. Now come to pipeline. Now you debug. Let's see. Now CSV files, how the CSV file is going to create. Now let's see. Okay. So same two files read, two files written. But how these two files are written, that's what you need to understand. So you can see now how the data it is. How the data is. You can see it's a pipe separated. Are you seeing or not? Are you seeing or not, Tim?
Yes, pipe delimited. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's how we'll have a pipe separated value. Clear all of you, team?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now close this. Next thing is you can come here, close this. Hmm. Now let's focus on the other copy behaviors. Now you learned how to write into the different delimiter as well, correct? Now let's go with the, we unchecked already recursive equal to true. Now let's try to use a flatten hierarchy and let's debug this. Okay, come here, click on this. Two files read, two files are written. Come here, refresh it. You see, two files are coming like this. But the delimiter is still pipe only. Why? Because we have not changed the target data set. Clear? This is the employees.csv. This is the emp.csv. See here, emp.csv. Okay. File names are renamed. Now let's move on to the next scenario, that is a merge without recursive. Okay, debug this. Okay, so you can see two files only read and it has written into a single file. See, 1079. Okay, so this is the data for EMP is there, employees is also there, combined. Okay, so please let me know if you have any doubts still here. First, I want to do one more lab quick, that is just a 5-10 minutes lab. I'll show you. Anybody have any questions still here, team?
No.
Everybody aware, right? What is the use of this user properties, or you are not aware? User properties, do you know or you don't know, team? See, if you don't know, say don't know, I'll explain.
Not sure. No. Yeah.
We already discussed this, team. So it is useful when you run a pipeline like this, okay, by generating. So the from source and the target, from where to where you are copying that information will be displayed here. If you have used some dynamic contents and all, so those dynamic folders, whatever is coming, everything you can able to see in the copy activity runs. Here you can see, okay, source we are copying from global to staging. When you're copying multiple folders or multiple tables, you don't know which table is copied by this copy activity. We'll have a multiple copy activity. So you can come to user properties, you can see it will tell you from global to staging we copied. Okay, that is the use. Now what I want to do, I'm going to the source. So let me create a one container called input container. Now let's imagine team. Okay. Let's say this is the file I have. Okay. Maybe even you can have a multiple files. It's okay. Let me go and upload 2 files. First of all, if you see the delimiter for these files, what is the delimiter for these files? What is the delimiter for this file team? Dollar and a 5. Correct? If you come to this data sets source side, the dollar and pipe is like is it supported or not? Are you seeing? Are you seeing anything is supported dollar and pipe? Okay, but you can able to handle it. Let me show you very simple. So two files are also having the same structure. No worries about it. So two files are having the player. Okay, same structure. I want to read this 2 delimiter CSV file and I want to convert into JSON. That is what the lab. Very simple. Already same source, same sync. Only thing is I am creating a 2 new data sets. Before we create a data sets, let me do something different today. Create a pipeline, drag the copy activity. So you can create a data set from the copy activity, right? So directly let's create from here. Click on new, select block. Select source blob, select the CSV, DS for blob for source CSV, source, browse it, select input. That's it. In input, you have a multiple files. So you can use the wildcard file path here. Okay. But along with this, what you need to do in the source? Open source dataset. Within the source dataset here, you don't have any option to uh, handle this, right? So what you need to do is here put the cursor, double click on that, double click on that, add dynamic content. It's not a dynamic content, it should be hard coded, dollar and a pipe, right? So you just have to hard code it. That's it, hard code it. Okay. Now come to pipeline 2, sync. What is the sync? Sync is same blob as a CSV, sorry, as a JSON,
JSON.
DS for blob sync, JSON. So let's create it as a container is output. Click uncheck this like import schema none because this folder not exist. Click OK. Now you can debug this. It is succeeded. Come here. Now output. See $pipe1.json, $pipe2.json is coming. See, it is coming in a JSON format. This is also coming in a JSON format. Clear tip. Can we merge these files? Okay. I want to use a merge files. One more column, file name column also I want to add. $file name. Now you debug this. Are you getting team what we are doing? So we are merging data and converting into the CSV. Even though some delimiter is not available, you can hard code the delimiters. It will work fine. Okay. So now if you refresh it, see the merged JSON file which has the data. See file name is added. So $file1, $pipe1, $pipe2, something like that. You can see the source file. Okay. Yeah, that's all for today, team. From my end, please let me know if you have any questions. Tomorrow we will see from on-premise to cloud how to bring the data using the Azure Synapse. Okay, installing integration, self-hosted integration runtime within the Synapse workspace. So everything we will see tomorrow. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Any questions, team?
No.
Okay, fine. If no questions, then thank you all. That's all.